leaderboard system, which is somewhat problematic if you ask me. And then those characters, the 4 horsemen, are going to be required to get Apocalypse. So it kind of has a feeling like Galactic Legends in another game. I mean, I don't imagine it to be easy. There's a video that it kind of goes over this. And also in that video, I just want to point out, it mentions gear tier 18 in the video. And then it also has cards flying in the quarter. So a lot of people are thinking that that possibly could be Gambit as opposed to Bullseye. We're going to read the post and I'm going to give my thoughts as we go through it. Welcome to 2022. Marvel Strike Force development team is excited to share a number of announcements about an upcoming content and features scheduled for this year. The dev team is focused on creating new experiences that'll delight and surprise players like never before. And then they have this caveat throughout. Please note that many of the details shared below are subject to change as pivots are necessary during the development process. Let's dive in and explore why 2022 is shaping up to be the best year ever for players of Marvel Strike Force. Age of Apocalypse is known by many names. People probably known as the supervillain Apocalypse. Players will embark on an epic journey to find, confront, and eventually unlock Apocalypse. And it looks like it's going to be the most challenging. You think it's hard to get Doom? You think it's hard to get Dormammu? This is going to be on another level. But of course, to even have hope of finding Apocalypse, you must first discover and recruit the legendary 4 horsemen. So to get Apocalypse, you have to get the 4 horsemen, and it does not look like it's going to be easy to get them as well. For such an epic conquest, the dev team has reimagined how these legendary characters will be unlocked with a fresh, new experience befitting their fabled stature. So the 4 horsemen themselves are going to be of legendary status, but it's going to be a new way of unlocking it. They're going to call Scourge events. New event mode. In order to unlock these legendary horsemen, players will get engaged in an all-new game mode, Scourge events, which largely I kind of like this idea, except for that it includes a leaderboard. We're going to talk more about that. Players will embark on a challenge to clear 10 sequential connected nodes, a run similar to Dark Dimension, but with some unique twists. Please note that the details in these images are not necessarily final, but are subject to change. And I'm glad they put that little warning there, because I'm looking at 7 red, 574. My goodness, right? Players can customize their challenges by selecting a difficulty level from 1 through 10. And basically, the more points you get is determined by what difficulty level you select and how many Scourges you select. And you go into a leaderboard, and that's likely how you're going to get shards for the horsemen. My goodness, I really don't like these blind leaderboards. I think it brings some undesirable aspects of this game to light, hence exploits, hacking, things like that. At best, it's just a function of competing against Krakens and whales. And I don't know if that's a good thing at all. The lower difficulty allows players to use a broader range of characters, while higher difficulties will narrow the character traits that can be used. And then get this, for the first Scourge event, players engaging in the highest difficulties will need Web Warriors and or Dark Hunters. And I choose to believe that it's just Web Warriors and Dark Hunters is going to determine how many points you get in this event, to determine whether or not you get shards of the first horseman, which is going to be needed to eventually get, my goodness, to battle in certain nodes of these higher levels. We'll have to see. Maybe it'll be better than I think. We will announce the full details of the 10 node requirements, including the name and the kit of the first horseman in the coming weeks. The twist is that players can also activate an activity of effects called Scourges. Kind of reminds me of Conquest mode in Galaxy of Heroes, the Scourges, that'll bolster enemy teams or cause detrimental effects for your teams. Players can toggle on any number of the Scourges, mix and match, and activate for a run. The more difficult the Scourges complete, the more points you'll get. So you'll get points by implementing and turning on these negative effects, like enemies gain 10% health. Well, you get a point for that, and you get more points for doing it. When a player gains stealth, they also gain taunt. Some enemies can gain 20%. They said there's going to be up to like 30 of them, I remember correctly. Right here in the blog post, it says difficulty level 5, suggested gear tier 13. But in the strike time video, it says recommended gear tier level 18. What? You don't have gear 16 yet? No, you need gear. I don't know. Again, subject to change. I'm just surprised that they would actually leave that in the video. Scourge events will be active for 10 days. So it's a 10-day event on their initial introduction. Then 5 days for each subsequent event it repeats. In the time Scourge events are active, players can make unlimited attempts to try to achieve their best single run with the highest difficulty level and greatest point values Scourges active, thus earning the most points. And this is the part that really makes me pause with concern. Those points will unlock milestone rewards and be tied to leaderboard rewards. Do you like leaderboard rewards? Both of which will grant character shards for the new legendary horseman. My goodness. At any point in your run, you have the option of starting over. Resetting the run will clear the progress made in the nodes and set your characters to full health. The players' teams will heal after completing and resetting the run, so you don't have to wait for 24 hours like Dark Dimension. Fantastic. A lot of speculation on who the four horsemen will be. So they're going to create a new storyline with Marvel, so it's not going to be something that we expect. I don't expect any of the four horsemen to be necessarily predictable. They're going to be something unsuspected. Scourge events for each legendary horseman were released individually and gradually over the course of 2022. The four events will lead up to a series of challenges different than the Scourge events featuring Apocalypse. So once you have the four horsemen, then there's going to be a separate and a different event for Apocalypse that will require you to unlock all of the four horsemen and some additional requirements to add him to your roster. Think you got figured out who the four horsemen are? Think again. Working closely with Marvel, we've written and developed a new take on the story of Apocalypse and the identities of the four horsemen, and they basically created a separate website, which is right here, dedicated just to Apocalypse. Okay, so this is going to be a super long, drawn out, very exclusive, hard to get character. Like I said at the beginning of the video, think getting Doom or Dormammu's hard. I expect this to be on another level. We do have some good things in this blog post. We're going to keep moving on. A lot of things that I am excited about. Speaking of the website, there's some big updates currently in the works for MarvelStrikeForce.com. Basically, they're going to start selling offers directly to the public on MSF on MarvelStrikeForce.com. I wonder what that's going to be like. There are even more features planned for later in the year. We'll likely keep you posted there. And it looks like they're moving forward on API, which hopefully makes MSFG.GG a lot more useful, where basically your roster and all your characters and things like that will be preloaded. Now, this is going to be a very good tool for recruitment once they finally do implement that. That's something that I think that if you're an alliance leader and you want to be able to look at someone's roster quickly, you can log on to msf.gg and see that. And that's what the API, I think that's the primary thing that API will allow us to do. So they're working on new PvP mode. Now, it didn't say this. I put this on here in the edit in the inspect element file of the computer. But they decided not to call Grand Tournament. They're gonna call it Cosmic Crucible, or some people I think are just gonna call it not Grand Arena. And I actually welcome this. And the main thing that I got from this is that Grand Arena, not Grand Arena or Crucible, is not going to be time-based like Alliance War. It looks like it's going to be more structured like Star Wars Grand Arena. And a lot of people that play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes say that Grand Arena is their favorite game mode. And I actually welcome that this be as similar as possible to Grand Arena. I was a big fan of it myself. Development of this feature is on track, and we're working on setting up a playtest with the next couple of weeks for over 100 players to get hands-on features and provide feedback. I'm looking forward to that myself. In the meantime, we do have some additional details we can share with you, but please keep in mind that these are subject to change prior to release. Players are grouped in an 8-person bracket based on their matchmaking rating. And a Swiss-style tournament, players are matched against other players every round trial. Players have 6 defense teams and attack the defense of their opponents during the time window. And they said that these waves would happen over a 24-hour window. So this is familiar to me because this also right here so far seems similar to that of what Galaxy of Heroes does with Grand Arena. Tournaments will grouped into seasons, of which is expected to have its own set of rewards and changes in rule set, again, similar to Galaxy of Heroes. Matchmaking will be based on a rating system, and players will be separated in division based on their wins and losses. So this is, I interpret this as being a ELO system. Galaxy of Heroes, my understanding, just recently switched over to an ELO system, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Players win rounds by defeating more rooms than their opponent. Cool, rather than a time-based garbage system like Alliance War. Really don't like the way Alliance War is based off of a time-based system. And they were very explicit about that it's not going to be like that in the Strike Time video. Players earn victory points by defeating enemy teams, which are used to determine the winner in the case of a tie. And if a tie is victory points, the player that initiated the fewest number of attacks wins. So an efficiency-based system, I like that. And the tie in the number of wins, the player with the highest TCP wins. I believe Galaxy of Heroes is similar to that also. Seasons will have global rules, and they went into length on this on the Strike Time video, but it seemed a little bit confusing to me. That grant certain bonuses to all rooms, and they mentioned an example of maybe like something to do with turn meter and not getting turn meter. There will also be room rules that grant specific bonuses or apply restrictions to combat a certain room. So that's similar to that of Alliance War. There'll be a limited number of times a player can attack one room. There will be not unlimited attempts. Rewards will be granted based on your division. The higher your division placement, the better rewards you will earn. Most details regarding the content of rewards have not been established, but we do intend for them to include orange and teal gear. The team's working hard in brand new game mode, and I hope it's a success. I'm actually pretty excited about this. As soon as possible, after the game mode's live, we plan on making further improvements and look forward to hearing from player feedback to influence those additions and changes. Please keep in mind that this info is subject to change prior to release. Okay. Costumes. We're going to get 3 new costumes. We've got a Moon Knight one. Storm. I like that. And then this is Black Bolt, which I actually kind of like. I don't know if I like the cape, as someone else pointed in chat, but I like the rest of it. Black Bolt, very interesting. Avengers Tower improvements. I thought they were going to implement this already, but I welcome this. The ability to filter out characters that you've already used from being shown on the Select Squad screen. That'll be a huge improvement. A dedicated Save Squad tab. And there's also going to be surfacing on the cooldown timer on cooldown that disabled the battle button. There you go. Economy improvements, and this is probably the single best thing in this entire post, is that they're removing minions from Elite 6 Red Star and Elite 7 Red Star orbs. I think this is a big deal. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this. I think there's nothing more frustrating than saving up resources to get an Elite 6 or an Elite 7 and then getting a minion. So they're going to do that. Then they also mentioned some improvements here. Additional slots will be added to the Elite Supply Store. So if you're looking for a Red Star promotion for a specific character, more likely to appear. And then later on, they says, with the conquest of Dark Dimension 5, we want more players to be able to make it through orange gear, tiers, and into teal gear. No word on teal gear. We need more teal gear, but actually, they do mention teal gear here in a little bit about being in events. Over the next few major version releases, you'll start to see the following changes. Finder offers its superior mini uniques priced in power cores. Boo. Adjustments in the Doom campaign so that every superior unique can be found on 2 campaign nodes. I like that. Additional gear pieces in the RTA Battle Pass. Like kind of boo again, meaning you can just buy more. Additional ways to earn teal gear through exploits. Wait a minute. That was a Freudian slip there. They're new and existing game modes. Whoops. Did I accidentally say something? Quality of life improvements. In addition to new contents and features, we have a number of improvements planned that'll make your regular play experience more streamlined and enjoyable. All right. They talk about event campaigns having their difficulty reworked, and they're going to make a new hard modes. And this was a little bit convoluted, so I have to wait to see how this happens. A new quick alliance option active at level 50. I think that's great. The advanced option to hide save squads do not contain characters can be used in an event mission that you're selecting a squad for. I think that's great. And then this is huge right here. Auto battle will toggle in raid battles or left idle for a significant fraction of a minute. This feature can be disabled in advanced settings menu. So I know I'm not the only person that done this, where I load up a mission that I'm going to put on autoplay, and then I forget about it, and then I come back to my phone and the timer has ran out. So this is supposed to be something then in the advanced setting menu where if you forget to press the autoplay button, it'll do it for you. Cool. I love this. I'm looking forward to that. Updated the rewards achievements, the link login X days, and extended and improved login achievements in the near future. Expanded the ability to equip all gear, lower play levels, and filter roster by non-minion. And they sum up the entire thing right here. There are even more exciting features and content coming in 2022, especially around the 4-year anniversary of Marvel Strike Force in March and April. That's right, the game's coming up on the 4th year. We'll continue to give you updates and weekly Friday blog posts as the release dates and the new content features draws near. On behalf of entire Boundless Entertainment Studio, thank you for playing with us and look forward to sharing an incredible year with you. And then there's some events that are happening right here. Most of them most uneventful, but they do mention the second Kate Blitz in there as well. What do you think? A lot there to unpack. I want to see how this plays out. It seems like it's going to be like a super mega galactic legendary is what it is. And even the Horsemen themselves are going to be harder to get. The one part that bothers me the most, which I mentioned several times in the video, is that it's going to be tied to leaderboards. I don't know. I understand the milestone part, but the leaderboard part, it just seems problematic to me. We've had a lot of problems in the last 6 months with leaderboard events, a lot of controversy surrounding those. Almost every time that there's a leaderboard event, there's been some issues, which I've covered on this channel at length. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.